Hey everybody, Bill in Virginia. Welcome back. So while you're watching this video premiere in February, it is now a day after the Richmond Greenburgh Model Train Show. So I did get the modules put back in the correct order so that I could assemble them in the garage and then continue on doing modeling over in the service area on the other side of the centerpiece. What I'm doing right now is I brought my F unit over, and that's an old Atlas, and like I said, I haven't taken it apart yet, but it slowly died yesterday. Now what I do have, you notice over here, is I have two more of the exact same engines, except these are Burlington Northern, and the other one that I run is Pennsylvania. Both of these are powered. I had gotten them off of an eBay purchase a couple of years ago, mostly for the freight cars, not so much for the engines. I spent something like $70 for a bunch of stuff, including track. And a lot of the track is over on the O-scale layout. Never run these. I will get the layout assembled, make sure these run. And one of these, I will probably take the motor out of and resurrect this unit. And the reason I would do that rather than just swap a shell and couplers is, the previous owner of this has this really well weathered, grimy down at the bottom. I want to keep all of that. So changing out a motor, if that's what it turns out to be in this, is the easiest way to get this one road ready again. Then I will have a second one of these, and I will test, and if that one is operable, I will change couplers out to KD couplers. And I also have a caboose that came with this, that for Burlington Northern, that I can weight, and I can change the couplers on that too. So I could have Pennsylvania and B&N running on my layout. Again, just mix it up once in a while just to have some fun. So anyway, we'll see what I do here. I've got a few projects that I'm going to do in this video. I might get to this one, I might not. We'll just see how things play out as I progress. But gonna hit those two engines, and I knew I had them, so we'll see what happens here. Well, it's now Thursday evening after work. Haven't gotten a lot done this week. I was under the weather yesterday. A little bit of cold-like symptoms, and so I just kind of rested. Didn't come out in the garage and do anything. But what I have done is I've taken apart my 080 this evening and was just looking at it. So the drive is free. I can spin it and I can get movement on the wheels. So the motor's not locked up. I applied power for my Control Master 20 here, and I got my lights to work. So the light on the unit works, picking up power off of the wheels, but absolutely no life, no heat, no grind, no growl, no whir from the engine. So the motor I think is bad. This unit was basically new old stock. Wheels, you could tell from the wheels it hadn't even been run. So I think the motor had a defect, and it just happened to show itself after I put about 15 minutes of operation on it. So I do have another motor coming that I ordered off eBay today. It's a little bit longer, but I've got room in here yet for a little bit bigger can motor. This definitely looks undersized to run this as well as cars. So we'll see when I get that, probably in a week. But what I'm going to be doing this evening is I'm going to be pulling out those Burlington Northern units and putting them on the layout and just seeing if they run. And then I'll come back to this later. Here comes the first engine. And no shell. I did the engine that was listed as $40 first, because if I picked up the box, I could feel some parts moving around inside, so I wasn't sure what to expect. So I took the shell off, and the motor bracket, which is made out of plastic, had broke. So I've got that, and you know, not a big deal. Reconnected the wires and put it on. So this one's running nice. I'm gonna put it in reverse and see how it does. But this one might be the one that I take the motor out of and put in my Pennsylvania. So I will get the other one on here after I run this one in reverse a little bit and see how that one runs. So reverse at slow speed is good as well. Notice the size of that motor compared to the motor that was in the River RC. The Atlas put in a much beefier motor in theirs. All right, let's put the second one on and see how that does. Here comes the second engine. Nice and smooth. So I really like these old Atlas engines here. They run really well, they sound really well, and they look really well. So this engine, what my plan is for this one is I will just leave it. Like I noted in the last segment, I will change out couplers, and I will fix up the caboose so that I've got a B&N caboose. Runs nice. So I'm going to put it in reverse real quick, make sure that no hiccups, and then this one will just have a coupler conversion, and it will be good to go. Nice and smooth. I'm going to call that a success. I'll get the Pennsy fixed up. So I took the Pennsylvania apart, put it on the track, and bulb lit up. Absolutely nothing from the motor. Checked all connections on the motor, which if the bulb lit up, I've got power, and nothing. With the other Atlas, I was able to kind of turn this real easily. Get it, you know, I have to really work to try to get the motor to turn, so it's shot. So I will take that motor out of the Burlington Northern, put it in here, and then I should be able to get this one back up and running pretty quick. These are sort of quick connects that come off the side, pop in onto those pins. It's got a strap that's in here. I'll see if I can salvage this one and not break it when I take this apart so that I can use it again. But I should be able to get this one done probably tomorrow night. And we have my Pennsylvania F unit back in service. So it's still Thursday night. I just decided, you know what, I'm going to change it out. It only took like 15 minutes to change the motor from the one unit into this one. And it is running again. So I'm a happy camper. Now I'll turn my attention to the Weaver FA unit and see if I can get that one running with just a little bit of effort. That one was a short, so I'm hoping I can get that one fixed pretty quick. Got this one, so I'm happy. So Friday evening, and I'm out in the garage. And that is a new locomotive that I just had delivered today. So off eBay, I found another FA2 from Weaver and bought it earlier this week. This is new old stock. The horns and other details are still in the plastic bag in the box. So I will get that set up. Chicago Northwestern here. I will probably leave this in its current livery and just put couplers on. Again, for the O scale, I'm wanting these to run and just pull trains for the most part, especially at shows. So I want to beef up my engine count. So if I lose something, I'm okay. So this is another engine now that some couplers,
and I will be good to go. Tonight yet, I am still going to tear apart the other Pennsylvania Weaver and see if I can figure out what's wrong with it. So making some headway on getting my roster back to full strength again here. Well, I got the Weaver Pennsylvania running again. It may still need some additional work. The motor and some of the drive shaft is not in the best of shape. It still acts up a little bit. The connections for the electrical to the motor, the little press-on was pretty corroded. Got that cleaned up mostly, and it's running right now. So this one will never probably be a primary engine. I'm going to do some more work on it and tune it up a little better. But right now it's running pretty good. I'm just going to let it run for a while and make sure it continues to work. But this one is functional, so I can use it on the layout and whatever show I go to next. Well, 20 minutes later, and it's still going strong. I'm going to shut it down for a while and see if it'll start back up. But this one should be good enough for running at the train shows, I think. I've got my 10-wheeler running again. So what I ended up finding once I took the shell off that one was that the motor is mounted in a little slide mount so that you can make some adjustments. And I found that one of the screws that was holding the motor in place was slightly loose, but it was enough that the motor was able to shift and pull away from the drive gears. So the gears are fine. There's still some wear on it because it's been run a lot, but it functions. So I'm going to run it on the layout for a little while. Tweaked it, put it back together again, and this one runs. So if that happens again when I'm running it, it's really actually quick. It's 3 screws to take the shell off, and then a quick adjustment on the mounting plate. So I'm glad I got this one back. The only one that I'm going to need now is the motor for the River RC, and this is the old Atlas motor. So I get a replacement and I'll have all of my engines back up and running, plus 2 more. So I'm calling that a win. We'll see what else I can get done on this video. 20 minutes later, and still running. So I'm going to call this one a successful repair as well. Let's go on to something different. Well, Saturday night, and I have installed KD couplers on that Burlington Northern caboose. So I've got those on. They had imprints on the bottom where you could add the KD couplers after removing the original couplers, which I just essentially cut off the trucks on that. So got that one done. Next thing I'm going to do is I will put at least one KD coupler on this B&N. This is the really good one. So I'm going to put that on, and then once I get that on, I will run it a little bit, show you what it looks like, and then I will wrap this one up. It's long enough. So I got thinking on that caboose and just gave it a push around. And lo and behold, it's not going to make it through that portal as it sits. I knew that my track was not perfectly centered. Underneath you can see it's offset a little bit from the, that sort of centerpiece. So I've got to just do a little bit of work on it to get it where the caboose can go through. Good grief. I did try the other tunnel portal, and that one works just fine. I had the track a little bit better centered here, and it goes through, and it goes through the liner. You know, there's no issues here. But I'm gonna have to take off just a little bit, and I think I can do it where it's not going to be completely obvious. I think I can get it down. I'll get it where the cupola can fit through it, and then I will adjust the curve of the overall tunnel to match that, so that you know, makes it look decent. But that's going to be a project probably on the next video. I'm still going to do the other engine, then I'm going to tackle that one. So fun. Well, I got it fixed already. So I put a couple of little witness marks on it where it was bumping, and I still have just a little bit of smoothing to do to kind of round a couple of places over. And this is not leveled, so you'll hear it go up, but that's okay. And there we go. There's no contact as it's going through. So that should work out for me. So you know what? I will finish that little piece up, and then that's going to do it for us. So it's Sunday afternoon, and this segment will be the end on this video. It's been a successful weekend for getting my engines back. So there is that Burlington Northern, the good engine with KD couplers, well, actually a KD coupler added to the rear. I've got medium shanks, and to fit into the front coupler pocket on these Atlas units, I need a long shank KD coupler, so I'll get that. But now with this one, the start of the weekend, I had 0 of my engines operable, and only had 4 of them, and right now I've got 5 engines operable. I've got the other Atlas that if I get a motor, I can make that other Burlington Northern work. And then I've just still got to fix up the 080 once I get that motor in. So I'm happy. I'm going to start doing some other things on the layout now that I've got engines back online, and I can run a variety of them. So with that, keep having fun on your layouts. Until next time.